Hello again, Todd Clemens from Okeechobee Livestock Market, and here's your weekly market report. It's just weird around here, and it has been for a couple of weeks. We're all wearing masks. Other people are wearing surgical masks or whatever, and we can't have more than 10 people gathered together in one place. But the markets do fall under the U.S. Patriot Act. We're an essential business. We're part of the food chain, and we're allowed to operate. There's people out there that have cattle that need to sell their cattle. They need to pay bills. It's so dry. Pastures are brown. Grass is wilting. And if we weren't open, what would happen to those cows on those pastures if the owners or the producers didn't have a place to go with them? So I feel like us being open is a real service to the cattle industry. And not only this market, but all the markets in Florida are presently open, and we're doing our part. And I'm really, really proud of our staff, our office staff, our barn crew underneath. They show up, they go to work, they don't complain. They're on the job, they're still employed, they have a job, and all that's good. So, there's some good things coming out of this that really make you appreciate people that are doing the right thing. And I want you to know here at Okeechobee Livestock Market, we're all complying to the rules and regulations. We're trying to space ourselves and do exactly what we're supposed to. We're doing our part of trying to keep everybody healthy and safe. Back to the market, a little bit of disturbing news. The packing houses, the big four, National, Tyson, JBS, those guys, Cargill, they're having a lot of people not show up for work. The chain speed has had to slow down. The shifts are not as long. And that means they're able to kill less cattle. This week they're looking at probably killing about 550,000 head compared to 675,000 head I think it was last week. So that's a drastic reduction. But your higher end cuts, the cuts you see in the restaurants, are not moving. Price on those high end cuts have dropped dramatically, but there's still a lot of demand and need for the lower ends. Hamburger especially is moving, and so there may be a lower supply here in the short term, and you could expect for prices to go up. That's just how that works. So watch that. And out of that 550,000 head that's killed by the packers, those big four, I just read where there were 15,000 head of cattle actually negotiated price sales. The rest of those cattle were killed on a formula, on a grid, and it was not price discovery. And the packers have their own captive supply of cattle that they can get anytime they want to get them, and they don't have to go out there and buy cattle on a negotiated price. And I'm telling you, that's a big deal. And there's a group of people that's working to try to get that cash price, minimum cash price purchase on a weekly basis by these packers to be at least 30% of their volume has to be a cash negotiated price. That's going to make a big difference, and it's in the works now. It's trying to be worked out by a group of people. Different organizations are coming together. There'll be a bill introduced shortly into Congress, and hopefully we can get that added on to the mandatory price reporting law that's already on the books. The packers have to report the cattle that they kill and the price they killed them at, and so if we can tag that 30% on, that'll be a big deal. But here at the market here locally, prices held up pretty good. Calves were steady. We had a few more calves. We've been having mostly cows, but some calves are showing up due to drought conditions in the pastures, and they were pretty steady. For instance, the 500 weight range calves on the number one steers and I think it was 515 pound weighted average, brought $1.38, which is around $700. It's probably $100 to $150 off where it was, but still, I mean, you can live with it. If you got a few calves and you need to pay some bills or whatever, you can bring them in here and get your money and do that. On the other hand, the cows, remember they dropped off pretty bad last week, and they started off a little bit lower on Monday, but by the end of Tuesday they had gained some ground, and we called the cow market, I called it $3 to $6 higher. The market reporter said 4 to 8, but it was definitely stronger on cows. And I guess you heard about the dairies having to dump milk. They've just got a huge supply of milk, which doesn't make any sense to me. But dairies are in a bad way right now, and those cows are costing them money. And I just guess that some of those cows are going to be coming to the market. So I would be looking for a larger supply of slaughter class animals here in the next week or two. So that may put some pressure on the cow market. But all in all, we're still here. We're still in business, and we've got a week or two ahead of us here that's going to be pretty critical. So let's all do our part to stay safe, keep this disease, this virus from spreading, and wash your hands, and I'll do all the things that you should do. We did have a high calf price and a high cow price. John Entry, how about it, John? You topped the market. You had a 315-pound steer calf bring $1.68. And on the cow side, C.E. Whaley Ranch from St. Cloud had a cow weigh 1,535 pounds that brought $64.50. And that's your market report. Thank you.